Boy, it is a good thing that I know some of the lore pertaining to the game, because had I not, I probably would not have liked this movie as much. And that's saying something. So Five Nights at Freddy's is a brand new video game adaptation film based off of the Five Nights at Freddy's video game series. The film is directed by Emma Tammy, and it stars Josh Hutcherson, Piper Rubio, Elizabeth Leo, and Matthew Lillard. A troubled security guard begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. While spending his first night on the job, he realizes that the late shift at Freddy's won't be so easy to make it through. So going into this movie, I pretty much went in expecting a fun, bad film, and the only reason being is because it's a video game adaptation film. And after walking out of it, I kind of got that, along with some things that I did not expect to be a major dislike for me. Before I talk about what I did not like, I want to talk about what I did like. And the first thing is the production. I thought it was great, and honestly, it was not bad for a video game adaptation film. A good chunk of the film takes place inside of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, and the set design of the entire establishment felt sinister yet lively, morbid yet colorful. Like, it feels like I'm inside of a haunted Chuck E. Cheese where literally any of the animatronics can kill me at any second. Also, this film is shot really well too, and I think that crisp and clear look really complements the thrilling tone of the film. Props to the studio and the production team for making the animatronics practical. Thank you. Having the animatronics be practical not only complemented the exact look of the characters from the game, but it also brought in this enriched experience to bring in more terror to audiences, and in my opinion, it worked. Overall, great production and great use of practical effects. I thought the casting here was good. I wouldn't say there were any major standouts, and, well, I take that back. There is one character, now that I think about it, he was the biggest standout. And if I talk about it, that goes into spoiler material, and I'm not going to spoil the movie. But if you've seen his previous work, you know how well he plays that psychotic villain role and how he has so much fun with that role. I feel like you'll know it once you see it. Like, there's no way you won't know who I'm talking about once you get halfway into the film. Like, there's just no way you won't know. Also, it was cool seeing a couple of YouTubers in the film too. You love to see it. The references and Easter eggs to the game were really neat additions to add to the film. If you never played the game, like I said, you're not going to get it. You're probably going to sit there with a blank face. And with the good comes the bad. And I did not expect the bad to stand out this much. The first sin of this movie is off-screen kills. If there is one thing that I hate that a lot of horror television shows and even horror movies as well do, it is cutting away from the kill scenes. Like, I just don't like that. It feels cheap and lazy. Now, in the case of Five Nights at Freddy's, I understand that this movie is rated PG-13, and I get it. I get it. You want to make a movie that's going to reach out to a bigger audience and make more profit off that. I get it. From a business standpoint, I get it. However, I feel like that kind of kills the quality of the film in a way. Like, it really kind of retracts the violent horror aspect of your product. I truly believe that the quality of this film would have been significantly better if it was rated R. Now look, there is one cool gory kill scene in this film that actually is a reference to an Easter egg from the game. And while that was cool, it just wasn't enough for me. This movie also has some weak jump scares. Now if I could be honest, I think there were like, maybe 2 good jump scares, but the rest of them, they fucking sucked. I'm sorry. They just did. Like I said earlier, if you are not familiar with the Five Nights at Freddy's game, or at the very least the lore behind it, you're probably going to point out a lot of plot holes in this film. However, if you are the average Five Nights at Freddy's fan like me, or if you are OceanGate submersible deep into the lore behind it all, then you're going to know the answers to those plot holes. And if you don't know, then you're just going to brush it off. Also, the subplot with the aunt trying to obtain custody over the main character's sister, I didn't care for it. I did not care for it. I found it so irrelevant. Matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that is not a part of the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. In fact, I'm convinced that it is not part of the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, because it did nothing. It did nothing for me. It did nothing for the audience. Why was it there? In the end, I feel conflicted with this review, because it's like a part of me enjoyed this movie and the other part of me didn't. but it's just, there were things that I liked and things that I didn't like, and it's like, I can't say the pros outweigh the cons or the cons outweigh the pros. It's kind of like that weird gray area, you know what I mean? Let me put it like this. If you have played the Five Nights at Freddy's game and you're really invested into the lore, or at the very least the game itself, you will enjoy this. But if you are someone who has never played the game before, then you're probably not going to enjoy this movie as much as compared to those who are fans of the game. So, plugging Five Nights at Freddy's into the rank system. You know what? Screw it. I'm putting this one into the pass zone. But yeah, that is pretty much my review for Five Nights at Freddy's. Let me know down in the comments section below what you guys thought about Five Nights at Freddy's. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What is your favorite video game adaptation film or series? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comments section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you all in the next one.
After working up the nerve, almost equal in size, I walked around with the iron for any wrinkle in time. I paid a piece of my mind for every nickel and dime, but never less than a 5 and never slept on the job. A killer crept on your squad, yet never left the garage. When your God was close enough to see the flesh of his eyes. Get to the button and press, it's what the message advised. What's the threat behind the vest is where the testament lies.